Flat Tracker, go, go, go!
Kelpie Flat Track Pod is brought to you by our partners, Classic Wheels and Spokes Otway Hydro Blasting, making your old girl look new again. Europa Fencing for all your raw fencing needs. ShredDesign.co for the sickest jersey prints in the biz, and of course Kelpie, keeping you on track for longer. Now, let's get into the episode. Yeah, beautiful. So, Runner, I was just saying to Tom actually off here, I'm just coming out of the fog. Yeah, bear with me, guys. It's been a huge week and a bit, almost 2 weeks, and all the travelling, all the guys that I had that were going to come and keep me company and help with driving and vehicles and all that sort of fell through at the last minute. So I ended up driving the first way up to Brisbane. Actually took us 35 hours from leaving my house to arriving in Brisbane. So it was a week's worth of work in 2 days, really. So, yeah, she was pretty full on. I've started this all backwards. We're here to recap the AFTN, Aussie Flat Track Nationals. Even my images fading in and out like a weirdo. Yeah, Flat Track Nats. That was round 3 and 4 in Brisbane, 16th and 17th. Have I got the dates right? I think it was.
Yeah, that was right.
Yeah, 16th and 17th September. And fantastic. So this is my recap. I did contact McCoward. He might drop in. I'm not sure. We'll see. We've actually never done that either. So hopefully he can get in if he wants to and message me if he can't. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Tom's on a little bit of a restricted time slot tonight, so we're going to make it a little bit shorter. The last couple pods have been pretty long. The one that's about to drop is with Luke Goff. I always call him Goff for some reason, Goff. And it's a ripper, but it's quite long. It's quite a long one. He likes to chat, and which makes it easy and really interesting. And he's got a lot to say too. So yeah, check that one out. Make sure you check that out. It's really worth it. Getting good feedback about the Kenny Angel one, Tom. I don't know if you've been around any tracks lately or talking to people, but yeah, getting some great feedback about what we're doing. So that's awesome. But yeah, tonight we'll just bash into it. As I said, I drove up. So if you're not in our country or even if you are, but haven't travelled much, it's a pretty big place and it can be a lot of hours, as you heard, in between destinations. So I'm in Victoria, which is sort of down one end of Australia. Brisbane is sort of the middle-ish, would you say?
Yeah, I dare say, yeah.
About the middle. So, and it was, it's Maps told me it was 19 hours, but Maps didn't include a radiator bottle blowing in half, a 3-hour wait waiting for another vehicle, transferring all our shit from one thing to another, and didn't include that. Well, I don't know how it couldn't predict it. I predicted it, but but anyway, we got up there and I was with my youngest daughter Willow, and she was an awesome navigator and really made sure I was fed lots of jelly snakes and gummy bears and coffee and everything else. And we had the best fish and chips that I've had for a long time. And yes, I actually had a fish burger, and I think she had just a hamburger, ham and cheese or whatever you call them, hamburger. And yeah, it was pretty good.
Burger,
yeah. We I think we broke into a hysteria about that time. I was doing stupid jokes like, have you got a chip on your shoulder? And because I haven't put a chip on my shoulder and shit like that. And she's rolling around in the car park. It was pretty funny. It was like two drunken hillbillies. But,
the dad jokes have started.
We were sober as, sober, just delirious. So from Yass, we drove another, that was must have been 9 o'clock-ish or something. And then we drove to the other side of Sydney, which there's a service station there that says last fuel for the highway on your way to Newcastle. So we slept there in the car park that night. That was at midnight we got there or just after. Got up at 6 and then got to our Airbnb in Brisbane at 6 o'clock that night. So she was a pretty pretty full 2 days driving, and really, really grateful for the Airbnb host. She was awesome, and they had a swimming pool and lots of towels and washing machines and all that. So we felt pretty fresh pretty quick, which was good. And there was a pub just down, hop, skip and the jump, about a 2-minute walk. So we went there for tea the first night and then cooked the tea the second night. Probably not. Yeah, people probably aren't interested in all this rubbish, but it was all part of the journey.
It's all about the journey to go on a race meeting.
Yeah, it was. I always knew it was going to be big, but it turned out totally opposite to how we had planned it. So we had a crew of about 5 going, and it ended up just 2, a crew of 2, one that couldn't drive. But yeah, as I said, she did an awesome job keeping me awake and helped me out. Anything I asked her to do, no fighting or chat back chat like it would be at home. It was just no worries, and I think she had a ball. Yeah, on the way home we had a massive good time as well, stopping at places we haven't been to before. Stopped in at Canberra for tea because we'd never been there, so it was a bit of a detour, but it was worth it. Found this joint. It was Kingpin Bowling. I think it's a franchise in Australia, isn't it? But we haven't seen one like this. It was fantastic. Yeah, had pool tables and bowling alleys and all those ticket games and all that. So we spent about 3 hours in there, had a few drinks and like soft drinks and stuff. And it was a bit dodgy going up the stairs. I wasn't sure if I was taking my 50-year-old daughter into a strip joint or into a bowling alley because it had a big Kingpin sign at the top of the stairs and it was all glitter and, like glitter squares.
Yeah.
And she turned to me and said, "Are you sure it's bowling, not a strip joint?" And I said, "Well, actually, no, I'm not." It could be your first one. We'll find out. Yeah. But yeah, she loved Canberra. It seemed pretty mellow, and the people were nice, and everyone was walking around. And yeah, that's all good. I'm just going to pause for 1 second. Yeah, so we're just talking about Canberra there. I'll just pause for a minute because Brendan's going to join us shortly. Not quite sure how all that works yet. We'll find out in a minute. All right, speak of the devil. He's connecting to audio, it says. But yeah, so that was a massive trip on the way home too. Yeah, really good. Enjoyed it. G'day, mate. How you going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Yeah, good. So we're not allowed to see your shed?
No, I was just I'll have my phone in my pocket, so I won't be able to. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to set it up, and it's a fucking mess at the moment too. So I got every man and his dog's bike in there, so I got no room to work on my own.
Oh, sweet! Have you still got Lockie's bike there as well? Have you?
Yeah, I got 2 of his bikes, 1 of another mate, plus the 2 Hondas, plus the new toy.
What new toy?
Nice.
The Husky.
Oh, have you actually bought one?
Yeah, that's why I needed the hub.
Oh, now you let the cat out of the bag. Look what you guys done now.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking on like the drive home this morning. I was like, oh, wonder if I mention it or who cares? I probably won't race it this year anyway. So
yeah, not till next year. Right. Yeah. So you did send me a message asking for wheels and hubs and stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't I put on there? Oh no, we're going off. Gee, it doesn't take much, does it, Tom? Go off.
You've got some editing to do. I tell you that for nothing. You've got a lot of editing to do.
I'm sure I put in somewhere else. So you're going to get one, and you said yeah or something. You didn't say you had one. Oh, always the last to know.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Next year, you know what Brendan's going to be on.
Yeah, congratulations, mate. That's awesome. Did you get that? Did you get that through work, or you can't say? Or
No, I got it through work. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. So we're just obviously Tom's here with me, and we're just talking mainly about my road trip so far. We haven't got to any nitty gritty, the track or anything. So it's sort of good you came on because it's been a little bit more time between the meeting and this pod than I would have preferred, but it's just been so hectic. I haven't. The night I was going to do it with Tom was actually the day I got home. And we were going well. I was going good, and then can't remember what happened. Someone asked me to do something, and I just went, I don't even know if I can think about what you're asking me to do. And then I was thinking, I don't think I could even host a pod. I'm bad enough when I'm rested.
I think I sent you a message out of clock saying, "I guess we're not doing the pod tonight." And you're like, "Oh yeah."
No, that was Monday because I rescheduled for Monday and totally forgot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
totally forgot. And Tom's going, I guess we're not doing the pod.
No, it's all good. I had Monday night off anyway.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it and you weren't, hanging out to see me. I know that.
Oh, mate, don't worry. I'll send you the invoice in the mail. It's all good.
Beauty. Yeah, so Brendan was very superstar. He got to fly in and his bike and everything was there with us, which was sort of cool. It's actually something we talked about anyway, but it did work out quite well, didn't it?
Yeah, it was actually, it was very cool. And like results and all that aside, that was definitely highlight. It's funny when we were at work on Monday. I was like, it's crazy to think that like less than 12 hours ago I was 1,800 k's away racing my bike, and now I'm at work. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say it was easy though. Like for people that didn't do that, you flew on the Friday night. I think you got in at like midnight or something, didn't you? So you didn't actually, and then you were up again like at 5. So you didn't have a lot of sleep. You were racing on a few hours.
No, and
sleep,
then we had
which isn't ideal. As team manager, I recommend you have a day off work before you come next time.
Okay. I'll try that next time.
We'll have to talk to Matt.
What's that, team manager?
have to compensate you or something. But yeah, so anyway, that was good. You got there without taking too much time off work. Was that your first time at Brisbane? It was, wasn't it?
No, well, I raced there as a junior. But haven't first time as a senior, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So had much changed? Like, because I was going to go into the facilities. I thought they were pretty good, but it was my first time. I don't know if they've improved or got worse or whatever from when you raced there last.
Yeah, like it's honestly been a long time, and I was pretty young. But speaking to mum and dad who remembered more, obviously, it definitely changed. Like the gates, the fencing all around the pits, and all that wasn't there when I was a junior and things like that. So that was all new.
Yeah. And what about, so obviously Brisbane is a pretty warm part of Australia, and it didn't disappoint. I was actually smiling all the time while driving, looking like a complete nutcase because I was nice and toasty and really enjoying it. And we were pissing ourselves laughing, seeing people in puffer jackets and jeans walking along the road in the suburb that we were staying in. I'm going, you guys are nuts. I had no shoes on and I had shorts and a singlet.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was warm.
Yeah, it was warm for us, especially from down here. And this part of Victoria too is generally fairly cold. So we get sort of 35 degrees during summer, but we're lucky to get sort of a string of 5 in a row. So yeah, it was really nice, consistent weather. I thought pretty warm. How did you find racing? And did it throw you at all?
No, it wasn't too bad. It feels like I only really noticed the heat kind of at the end of the day when we were packing up. To be honest, like I thought I might need to break the fan out and stuff like that, but no, it wasn't too bad. It was actually just really sort of nice weather. And then obviously when you're riding with the bit of extra airflow, you don't notice anything. So
yeah, and first impressions of the track. When I went and did the track walk, I think I went out before you and then went around again with you, but I thought it was going to blue groove. What were your first impressions?
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I was at first a little bit probably disappointed because I really thought they were going to leave it loose, and that would suit probably us because it's more similar to Broadford and stuff. But it didn't form up the way I thought at all. I was at riders briefing talking to some other riders, and I was like, yeah, it's going to blue groove for sure. But no, that wasn't to be. So it formed up. It formed up okay. I think the talk of the town was just some. Maybe just some poor decisions, poor track prep decisions in terms of water and stuff like that. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I was talking to other people during the day, and, it is hard when it's someone else's track. They know what's best, and they were doing what they thought was best. And it seems every track in Australia has complaints against it in one form or another, and theirs was dust, so they were concerned about that. Something I found very interesting is I thought I was a pretty good judge of track, and I asked young Jed Fife what he thought of it when he was walking around, and he said, "Oh, I think it's going to break up. It's going to be really soft and deep." And that's interesting. And he was right.
Yep.
He was right, Tom. The track broke up and it was more like a Aussie dirt track.
Yeah, we went up there last year.
Pretty cool, actually, I thought.
Yeah, we went up there last year to watch the Australian dirt track titles, and it pretty much went the exact same way as you explained in there. But I really liked that track. It was looked like it was fast flowing, and it would have been good to see it on the weekend.
And did it look, when you're up there for the Aussie titles, did it look like it was hard packed, and then once they rode, it broke up?
Yeah.
Is that the way they normally prep it?
It didn't look like it was grooving up or anything like that. It did seem consistent, but it was deep because there was a fair few riders trying ride that fence on the pit corner, and you could see a fair bit of dirt pushed up there, and also coming out of turn one or midway through turn one, it was pushed up against the fence there. But it would have been interesting to see how the track formed with them running the 9-inch American style tyres that are not so aggressive on the track, but by the sounds of it, it definitely acted the exact same way.
Yeah, well, it pulled it up dug it up pretty quick, as Brendan was saying. I'm not sure, what about on day one? So round 3, Brendan, was there still too much water in there?
Yeah, but it wasn't as bad because there wasn't that tight, sort of first gear. You weren't having to slow down as much as on day 2.
Yeah, on the TT.
So there probably was a little bit of it, but it wasn't as noticeable, I reckon you'd say. But it definitely still happened. It probably wasn't so much that they put too much water down. It's just like because there was I guess you'd call it like a smooth line. The water kind of had nowhere to go, so when they did water it, it just kind of sat on top.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's really hard when you're not riding to know what it really is like. Like, it looked fine to me.
yeah.
It looked good to me. But
I'm kind of glad that it wasn't just me that thought that. Like, I was speaking to other riders and they were saying the same thing. So because I'm pretty bad for that, so I was hoping that it wasn't just me being soft, basically. But they're like, no, we're all sitting on the dun grid, and when we see the water truck go out, we're all just looking at each other, going like, "Well, it's nice knowing you."
Yeah. Do you think that's going to change over time as everyone gets more experience on the tyres as well, though?
Yeah, I think so, because you looked at obviously I wasn't in the A group, and you look at them and it didn't seem to really affect them at all. So that just goes to show that it was more, just the riders with the less experience on them struggled a bit more than the top guys with more experience.
I think that's probably what it comes down to, or you just don't have as many screw loose as some of those other teams. So we'll sort of we'll go through the classes and once again the junior lights, which are 250s. I haven't got all the times here in front of me. It was doing my head and trying to pull up all the PDFs and that before. So I've just gone the very basic email, and it's given me the 3 top finishes of each day, and then overall points. So in the junior lights, and I'm pretty sure you can back me up here, Brendan, that Cooper Archibald dominated all day, from what I remember. Yeah, and then Thorin Openshaw was second, and Lachlan Russell in third, and their times, like at Appin, Tom, were very similar to the 450s. I'm pretty sure it was in the A group too. These kids are amazing. So awesome effort by those guys, and great racing. And I'm not sure who's had lots of time on the track there and who hasn't, but they're pretty. I think they're just consistent racers across the board. To be honest, they just come out firing and look comfortable straight away to me. I was pretty impressed. And the 85s, I wouldn't say was 100% that way. The young man that I've been keeping an eye on, the 23 of Jed Fife in the junior 85s, he didn't have it all his way right from the start. He did have to fight for it. And the Duggan brothers, in second place was number 2 Lenny Duggan, and third place was 10 Lockie Duggan. They were having great battles, and really, really looked like they were pushing themselves. And I think I saw on social media, actually, it might have been Cooper Archibald. Someone out of this group got the win in the mini overall GP. Did anyone see that?
Yeah, that was no. I did see that, but I don't know if they were at. I can't remember the kid's name who won that O'Reilly class, but I did see that.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm pretty sure it was one of you, and I hope it was. Anyway, that was probably a big cock up. I should have just shut my mouth, but it just goes to show they're getting lots of seat time. Is sort of the point I was getting at, because they all come out and they're really consistent. Looked like they'd ridden that track a lot, and I'm pretty sure most of them haven't. And the battles are amazing. I've got some good footage. I was saying to Tom earlier that I will be editing up. I'm just a bit behind at the minute. I'm on the last voiceover for the Kelpie Cup, last Kelpie Cup round that happened at Broadford, and then that will be posted. So hopefully tomorrow morning. And our last podcast with Luke Goff as well is almost finished, and then the AFT one will be after that, and this pod's got to come out somewhere in between it as well. So it's a bit of a busy time at the minute, but
You wouldn't have it any other way, would you?
no, we're getting them out. That's the main thing, and I've already lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Good footage. That's right. Yeah, some awesome footage in there, and you'll see how quick these kids are. I've got a new camera that was pretty good, apart from I estimated the battery life of it on day one. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what you're going to get yet, but we'll see. And that was a rookie mistake, because I'm pretty sure the nights leading up to leaving, which unfortunately, were a bit of a head F as well, because people were pulling out and not answering me and stuff. I said to myself, you've got to charge that battery, and I'm pretty sure I didn't. And that's why, if I did, because the next day it lasted the whole day, no worries, and had plenty to spare. So, and I wasn't being conservative with filming or anything. So I think I must have forgotten to charge it.
Oh, well,
so there you go. Yeah, I'm being honest. I'm being very honest today. So Jed 5, Lenny Duggan, Lockie Duggan were the junior 85 top 3 on day one, which is an oval circuit, if you didn't know that already. Then we had the clubman. Who do you think was on top? Well, you would have seen social media, Tom.
Oh, I think I knew before anyone else did. Yeah, Lee Hunter, definitely.
Yeah, Lee Hunter and Darren Webb. And I've got to give this guy a tip of the cap, because Pete Smith hasn't had a heap of time out on 19s, and he went out there and he was looking really good, I thought. Really dicing it up. And his brother Dave, obviously in the B group, was doing an awesome job as well. And it was good to see Pete come out, because I didn't actually think he was going to get on 19s. I'm not sure why I was under that assumption, but it was good to see him get out there. They're good races, those two brothers, and he got himself on the third step of day one, which was awesome. And going to the Pro 450 class, we don't get the results for the B group. Can you remember who was on there, Brendan?
I think it was pretty much the same people on both days. I know on the flat track day, round 3 on the Saturday, James Sorty was in there, and Jared Oram. And Jared Oram moved up. He won the first one and moved up, but then didn't do day 2. And then day 2, James Sorty qualified straight into A. The rest of them were pretty much the same. So it was, me, Dave Smith, Christian O'Donnell, Tyler O'Donnell, Mackenzie Booth, Clay Clegg, and actually on day 1, Edward Graham was in there too, but was in the A group on day 2. So after a few dropouts, pretty much a couple of people moved up, and the rest of them was all the same. So.
Yeah. So you got it was a third, wasn't it? Or second? Oh, I've forgotten. I should have written it down.
And one of the races, but overall, I don't know. It was no good overall. I had a couple of good races, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think your last race you got it second or third, didn't you?
No, the last race I was battling for last. The first race on the second. Oh no, the last day on day 1. Yeah.
Yeah, day 1.
I think it was a third, because it went fourth and then third in the last 2 races, and then second in the first race.
Which we
Sunday.
thought was I thought was really awesome until we found out something on Sunday morning. Did you want to talk about that or not?
Oh, probably doesn't need to be talked about.
Yeah, it does. Come on.
That's what.
Because it'll just get me fired up, and then might get me in trouble. So,
like I said, right. Don't be scared. Spit it out.
We'll move along, but I'll just say that a few riders got fined for not putting their scrutineering or filling in the right information on your self-scrutineering sheets. So a few of them copped the fine. And the only way they would know that is if they check these details on your scrutineering against your bike, and you got a podium, don't you, for that to happen?
No, they just check the top 5.
Top 5. So
that's what they said, yeah.
So that happened, which wasn't flash, but it's it serves a purpose. It sends a message. So if you're doing your scrutineering forms, if you're entering the AFTN and you're doing your self-scrutineering forms, make sure you put every number, digit, letter right. Don't put the wrong information in. Make sure it's 100% correct, because they do want it to be a pro series, so that means no fucking around, no shortcuts. So
how much was the fine?
I can't remember, $200, I think.
Yeah, $200.
Holy shit! Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
fair enough.
it did send a message, and in the scheme of the sport, a couple $100 is nothing, but when you invested that much to get there and that, it hurts. So
That's right, Brendan.
Anyway,
Just get the team manager to pay for that one.
Well, team manager's not paying for fucking much at the moment because he's broke from paying for gas.
He's blowing our radiators.
But yeah, well, we will once we sell a few more wheels. Anyone wants some wheels so I can pay Brendan? That'd be awesome. So yeah, the B group was awesome racing. Like, it's a shame that it sort of gets broken up like that, but yeah, I mean, it's a way of dealing with the point system.
And we thought we were going to have no B group.
The Pro 450. Try that again.
So yeah, we thought we were going to have no B group on the Saturday because the numbers were pretty low and a couple injuries dropped it down to, I think, 18 or something, which is normally a full grid. So we thought we were going to drop that, but the track didn't allow that many riders, so we
on the Sunday you were meaning for the TT.
Yeah.
So the Super Pole, going back to Saturday before we get ahead of ourselves, Super Pole was 178. Dale Borlass won that.
Well done.
Don't know much about that rider, do you, Tom? Do you know Borlass at all?
No, I have seen him around a fair bit. I've seen him up in Canada. He was at the Curva Classic at Kempsey, and he's a fairly fast rider. He's on a Yamaha, but good on him for doing that, considering the strength of the field.
Yeah, do you know much about Dale, Brendan?
Oh, not a whole lot. I know he's a speedway rider and just one of them riders that can kind of ride anything. He's from like Townsville.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, right. We might have to get you on, Dale, so we can learn more about you. I mean, that's what this is all about. If the three of us don't know much about you, then that's not a good start. We need to know about you so we can get your name out there. And I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm doing it again. Anyway, so
get going, mate. You're good.
Day one, the top step was taken out. Have you seen the results at all, Tom?
Only bits and pieces. I sort of saw the photos that was put up of the podiums and whatnot, but yeah, not off the top of my head. I know Lee went well, considering he's one of my good mates, and also Webby as well. But I didn't see a hell of a lot of results.
So who would you think would be on the top step in the Pro 450?
Well, you'd think Kirkness would have been fairly close to it. And as far as I saw, I'm pretty sure that he was the one that took out the top one. And I did see Billy Vernerd was up there as well. But, not a hell of a lot after that. Only a few photos and things like that. So I'm very interested to see who came where.
Yeah, so you were sort of off but close. Top step was 29, Billy Van Eerd. In second was 33, Reed Batty. And in third was 176, Daniel Wicks.
Oh, how good's that? Awesome.
So, it was good to see a couple young guns come in there. And I will just explain the first race for you of the A group. There's one word, intense. It's just fucking fully intense. I was up in the scorer's tower, and when they were lining up for the race to start, so this is the very first 450 race after qualifying, after practice, and after Super Pole.
Just quickly, where did they start from? Did they start from sort of halfway down the main straight, or did they use the gate?
No, it was just off turn 4. So
halfway down the main straight.
Yep.
Yeah, about halfway. Yeah, it wasn't exactly halfway. So
I don't think similar to the way they started it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, just trying to get a picture in my head, that's all, yeah.
But there was still quite a bit of a straight before the first corner though.
Yep.
Yeah, so you could just see the intensity going through all the riders, and that's what happened. And it was basically like winding the thickest rubber band up and just winding it until you couldn't anymore and letting it go. And it was chaos, wasn't it, Brendan?
Yeah.
I think, was it in the first lap? How many come off? I know
that bad.
Caution hit the wall and flew along the wall below where I was. And then there was a restart. And then is that when Matt Davies came off?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Matt Davies came off in turn 1 and 2, I think it was. So that put both of them riders out for the rest of the day. I think, did it put Matt?
Right, though?
So I had a quick word with Kosh, and he was a bit knocked about, but he came back for the next day, a little bit sore.
Awesome.
little bit sore, but I'm pretty sure that Matt didn't, did he?
He was there the next day, but he wasn't riding. No, he broke a couple of ribs and.
Broke a couple of ribs and stuff. So, but it was interesting because the rider, it wasn't track conditions, it was the riders. You could see the energy. I think they were just pumped up. Obviously, with like Kosh and that pressure, I think from winning titles and that sort of thing might have played a little factor. I could be wrong there, but it would for me, knowing that people are looking at you as being one of the fastest riders there. So that's what you want to be. And they were just going hard, like super hard right from the get-go. And I think those results sort of show that a little bit. Some of the older riders, well, I suppose it's not fair to say that, but some of the more experienced riders played it a little bit more sensible, and stayed on and scored points that way. So I think the tactical side was quite interesting. Well, that's what I was taking it as anyway. I was thinking people are using a bit of a strategics there instead of just going full balls out and maybe nick yourself. And race 2 it definitely calmed down. Yeah, it was quite different to watch, but still quite intense. But definitely calmed down. I think all the riders sort of thought, that was a bit much. I don't know. That was my take, Brendan. What did you think?
It was probably a little bit. You're probably bang on there. It was definitely intense, but there was some good battles, like for the top spots. That last race, the 15 lapper between Reed Batty and Billy Van Erd was next level. That was sick.
Yeah, and those guys far out they can ride, like you said, Tom. Reed, he's pretty awesome to watch, and they all are. Daniel Wicks, Kurtness, they're all awesome to watch. Was it the TT day that Daniel was doing basically a speedway slide all the way through?
It's almost like he figured something out on there.
Yeah, that was the next day. That was extra confidence. So flicking over. So that was the oval track. Heaps of awesome racing. Spectators, there were a few, not as many as I thought they might get, but cars did pile up on the hills a bit. I'm not sure how Dave felt, Dave Maddock, the organizer of the event, how he felt of spectator attendees, if he was happy with it or not. But look, people came down and watched it. We were sort of speaking a little bit off here, Tom and myself, about the promotion side of it, and Brendan and I was saying to Tom, Brendan, how we were talking about posters and shops and trying to reach an audience that's not already looking for the racing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think, definitely that would help. And the other thing I think we need to remember is that this is only, technically it's the third event, but really it's only the second event of the first full season. So we're barely crawling, really, and when you look in the terms of successful events and successful businesses or anything like that, it's definitely in the infancy stage, and I can already see improvements happening in the background, and like I know obviously we weren't flash on it, but the fines and that sort of thing, they're taking it seriously and they're setting that out from the get-go, and I think that's really important to sort of stamp that on it right away and say, we want this to be known as like an Australian flat track championship, so we've got to make sure it's top shelf all the time right from the get-go. So that's good. The promotion side, hopefully that will come and we'll get more people following it as they learn about it. It would have to talk to Dave to find out what his strategy is if he wants to talk about it, and maybe there are people that are good at that sort of stuff that can help out. Just sing out to him. But the second day of the TT, I quite like this TT layout. I thought it was quite good. The jump was a lot more aggressive than Appin. It was interesting in saying that because people were sort of trying to make it as small as they could. Is that the right way of saying it?
It was hard because the jump was like, the shape of the jump was definitely way better than Appin, but the location was still like hard to get a proper jump because there was, the right-hand corner right after it sort of thing. So that's why people were sort of trying to not jump too far off it.
Yeah. So basically, if you really gunned it and used the full potential of the jump, you would be off the other side of the corner, is what Brendan said.
Yeah.
So you had to be a little bit strategic about it and get over it as almost scrub it in a way, or get over it as quickly and as low as possible. So you could make the right-hander, and then there was a very sharp left-hander. Basically, it wasn't a 90-degree angle, but probably more than that actually. Really sort of turn back onto the straight. Again, once I get the footage out, you'll be able to see. But yeah, I thought it made for some really great racing. It would spread out, and would it be fair to say that's where you could make places in those?
Yeah, it was actually really cool how much it close up on a person in that whole TT section. Like there was times where coming through the speedway corner, I'd be like a few bike lengths behind, and then come into the TT section, I'm right on their reel, like in a position to make a pass. So it kind of gave you a bit of confidence that if I lose them, down the straight or in this corner, I can make up ground there. So it did make for good racing.
Yeah, it did make for good racing, and one little mistake there, and someone would get around you, and then some people. I think that's where the horsepower didn't play. So obviously the horsepower on the straights and on the speedway corner helped, like you said, they could get away from you, but they couldn't really utilise that horsepower and that tricky stuff. You had to just be really smooth through there, and I think it brought a few people undone. It was really good to see. Starting off with the results for what have I done here? I don't think it's what I've done. He's got the top 10 for some reason. Oh, no. It is what I've done. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves, and I'll get my shit together. I went too far. Yeah, so junior lights, the top 3 on junior lights on day 2, which was the TT with the jump and a right hand and a left hander, was Cooper Archibald once again, the 87 machine. Yeah, making it look easy. He's an absolute gun. The 555 of Lachlan Russell in second, and 296 of Thorin Openshaw in third. Junior lights. That was junior lights. Why does it say it twice?
Yep.
Oh, it's not me. It's the app. Oh, okay. I think it's a typo. The 85s aren't there. Bugger. It's got the junior lights twice instead of the 85. I'll see if I can get that 85 information. I don't want to say who it was just in case I'm wrong. Actually, it should, because that tells us the overalls. So that's not. I'm pretty sure it was similar to day 1 though. But I'll have to come back on that. Sorry, guys. I didn't realise that wasn't there, or that typo was there. So we're going to skip 85s and go on to the Clubman Open. Day 2 it mixed up. We had the 261 machine of Jason Griffin. He rode awesome. I don't know if it's because of the oil tracks or what it is, but he seems to be really consistent on the TT sections. And held his own. 87 Lee Hunter was second, and 69 of Luke Turner was in third. So well done to all those guys. Awesome racing in that class too. There was quite a few good battles all day. Changing of positions. So B group was similar, wasn't it, Brendan? I think Dave Smith actually dominated, didn't he?
Yeah, he had. I think he won most of them, if not all of them.
Yeah, so he was right.
He even won the first one, and opted not to go into the A group.
Yeah, he decided not to go into the A group, which was interesting. He said, "Why would I do that? I'm a second and a bit down from the guy last." But I don't think he was. But and that's the whole idea of that. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. And he was happy where he was, so he stayed there. And I've got to say, though, I thought he was looking really good. He says that he doesn't feel confident on them, but he looks confident. So
I think
if you go on my Instagram, you'll see one of the starts from the B group, and he whole shotted it. And his body position looks comfortable. Maybe he's just not used to the amount of wheel spin and that yet. But you look good to me, mate. So stop your bitching and get on to the A group. Have you found the 85s yet, Tom? I can see you looking.
Yeah, I think I found the overall results for the 85 for.
Yeah, it's the round 2 result I want. For some reason, there's a typo there. I didn't notice it before until.
No, I'm on compute time trying to.
Oh, is it the same on there?
I'm just trying to see exactly. Yeah, it says here round 3.
So I'll go on to the Pro 450 overall anyway. So Curtness managed to wrap that one up on day 2 on the 387 machine. And then 176 Daniel Wicks got second, and 29 Billy Van Erd on third. So Billy, well done, mate. Podium both days. Awesome effort. And Daniel Wicks also. And like we said, Daniel was on fire. Some of those races. Actually, the second to last race of the day was that intense. A lot of the cars that were, or spectators, left afterwards, and I think they thought it was the final because a lot of people left. I'm going, where are they all going? There's still another round, still another round to go.
Yeah. I've got the top 3 for the Junior 85s on the TT.
Oh, you have? Awesome. Who's that?
Jed Fife got the win.
Yeah.
Levi Leighton got second, and Lenny Duggan got third.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, so well done, boys. Sorry I messed it up, but we got there in the end. That's why we have trusty psychics. He's not biting. Look, he's concentrating too hard. So next rounds, we all it was actually in the sub-reg, I think, saying that Tari is no longer going to be the host for rounds 5 and 6, and Gunnedah is now, which is an awesome track. Brendan, I don't know, are you happy with that, Brendan?
I actually am. It would have been cool to go to Tari once again after not going there since I was a junior, but at the same time, at least I've been to Gunnedah as a senior before, and then looking at the aerial shot of the track and where the jump is, I'm really excited about that because it's actually a straight afterwards, So
not straight into a corner. Yeah, I thought you might be happy because you were up there not long ago doing the New South Wales titles on that track. So I can't imagine it's going to be prepped any different apart from having that jump on the second day. So I could be wrong.
That's what I'm excited about is the fact that the track will stay consistent.
Yeah. Oh shit! I'm really buggering this up. Tom's going to be going. I've got to go in a minute. Totally missed the Pro Twins on day one.
That's your favourite class. What are you doing, mate?
Unbelievable! What an amateur. I really loved watching the twins as well. It was really good, and I actually did make a big mistake on the day because I didn't have a program in front of me, and I was up in the scoring tier. I actually don't think the dudes on compute time realised either. They were only doing 3 rounds on the twins for some reason, not the 4 rounds. So I didn't actually. I only filmed the complete race of the 4th round for each class, so I didn't actually get the twins. So I'm really sorry, guys. I did get the start of your race because I thought I'll get some footage of you starting, but I didn't carry on filming because I thought you had another race to go. So really disappointed about that. I learned my lesson. Yeah, a lot of lessons learned on the Saturday. Charge your batteries and get a program is the main two. But it was awesome racing. I was actually, I don't know, was I surprised or not that who took the win, but it was, so the overall winner was number 49, Christian O'Donnell on the CF Moto, I think they're CX 700, 750s. And I've been looking at those bikes for a while before I realised that the O'Donnells had one and that they bring them in or sell them as well. So, but they come out standard with a slipper clutch and they're sort of like a good base, really. I think there is a bit of adjusting that you have to do and that sort of stuff. But he's going really well on that. And he's been going well on it for a while at Bathurst and that he did well as well. But he took the number 1 step this time. It wasn't always easy, though, from memory. He had 43 Joel Elliott there. Only 10 points behind, and the 650 of Miles Rowe wasn't far back on 132. I'll sort of go through the list. So that was your top 3: Christian O'Donnell, Joel Elliott, Miles Rowe. From 4th to 10th was Jamie Portelli, David Sculler, Justin Steele, David Butler, Murray Pedal, Shane Richards, and Rocco Nardi. Now, Shane Richards would have been up in the top 3, but he did he missed a round because he had a flat battery, I think he told me, and then he had a stack and got a bit injured. But if he didn't, he was definitely dicing up in the top 3 there. I think he actually got a couple seconds and stuff, or got a second or something. And he was going awesome. I should have written these notes down there. It's lesson 3, write notes. Or don't leave it a week.
Homework to do, buddy.
I wasn't intending on leaving it this long either, as I stated before, so that's made it a bit harder. But yeah, it was awesome to see the Twins. I think they deserve a bit more track time. I'm not sure why they schedule it that way. TT, obvious reasons, probably would end up with cracked frames and that sort, and maybe injured people. But you never know. They used to jump those old Triumphs and BSAs in the 60s, and we're not talking motocross jumps, obviously natural terrain, but they still did it.
I think the riders might have chosen to do the shorter. I know it was in the sub race, but I would imagine that it might have been the rider's choice, because those things would be a handful. And a lot of the riders racing that class aren't, they're just doing it for fun kind of thing. So they might not be the fittest. So I don't think it was Dave just not giving them enough track time. I wouldn't be surprised if it was them not wanting to do quite as longer races.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that'd be interesting to find out anyway. Maybe that's something we can find out. I don't know about the fitness side. Christian's pretty fit. He was doing well in his other classes. Was he in? No, he was in the A group, wasn't he? Yeah.
No.
So, and Shane was going all right too. He probably would tell you that he has to work on his fitness, though. So before I realised that I'd missed the Pro Twins, where were we? Overalls. So overall standings at the moment. So 85s, so junior 85s, which run on 17 front and 17 back wheels, unlike Australian dirt track. Is at the top of the board is 23 Jed Fife, second is Lenny Duggan, third Lockie Duggan, fourth Charles Nicholas, fifth Jake Page, sixth William Wiggins, seven Logan Turner, eight Jai French, 9 Aidan Dipplesman, and 10th is Levi Layton. Going to junior lights from top to bottom, so first to 10th, Lachlan Russell, Cooper Archibald, Thorin Openshaw, Brody Page, James Wood, Hugh Hodgetts, Cameron Dunker, Blake Ferry, Jaden Holder, and William Scum. I'm pretty sure Jake wasn't there, was he? Sorry, Jaden Holder. Pretty sure.
No, I don't think so, no.
So between first and second, it's first is on, so Lachlan Russell's on 795 points and Cooper Archibald on 760. Jed Fife is on 863 points and Lenny Duggan is on 753 points in the junior lights. Junior 85. Clubman from 1st to 10th is number 87, Lee Hunter on the top step, followed by Darren Webb. There's 5 points separating those two guys. I can do the math on that one. That's why I'm saying there's 5 points. The other ones, the numbers are too big. Jason Griffin in third. Neil Gridler in fourth. Daryl Mallam in fifth. Reece Sandow, Luke Turner, Molly Ferry, Shane Gale, and Rory Hutchison. Now, I'll just give Daryl Mallam a special mention there. I'm pretty sure he'll be the oldest. He's 59, if not 60. So, yeah, good work, Mal. And, yeah, he's one of the best starters I know of. He does, if you look at his Facebook and that, he does a lot of endurance road races, and he's on the bike a fair bit, which is awesome. Loving life. So we go up to Pro 450, the top 10. Michael Kirkness on 765 points. Daniel Wicks on 717. Billy Van Erd back there in third on 659. Thomas Herrick on 602. Dale Borlas, Caution Wheel, Ryan Tegar, Jordan Dole, Reed Beatty, and Rory McCoulter. So they're your top 10 in the Pro 450. And that sort of, for me, Reed Beatty getting in the top 10 when he's only raced the 2 events out of the 4, I think that's pretty impressive, really. Shows you that he was up the top all the time to get the points. Yeah, I don't know. Who was your standout for the weekend, Brendan?
Probably, I'd have to say Billy. I knew he was obviously you know what kind of caliber rider he is, but he sort of didn't show that happen. And I think the Brisbane track, maybe the surface suited him a bit better, but he was, like on Saturday, he was on another level.
Yeah, was it actually on the podium that he said a little bit similar about Appen, that, you know, he hadn't had as much bike time, and that I think he must have got a bit more bike time in between then and now. I definitely agree with you. He was definitely on another level from Appen, and sort of fulfilled what I've been told. He was consistent, because you could see the speed at Appen, but he just had those few little mistakes that made him come off, and that sort of thing, fronting washouts, and that you sort of wouldn't expect from someone with his reputation. And but I think he was awesome. But for me, I really enjoyed watching Daniel Wicks. I think he's very consistent, and he's sort of, I don't know, maybe we have to call him Dracula or something. He's hiding in the shadows a bit, you know. He's always there, but he's very, in my opinion, he's very consistent and very smooth. Like, you don't see him looking like he's having to be really aggressive and that often. I mean, with what he was doing in that last race or second to last race, I can't remember, on Sunday, with bringing the power on real early and just powering right through the corners, it just looked effortless, and it was magnificent to watch, I thought. So he was my pick for the weekend. I thought you went awesome, Wixie. And I mean, obviously podium both days along with Billy, and you're the only two that did it, and there's a reason. So consistency always wins in my book. So it was awesome. That about wraps it up, Tom. I don't think we missed too much. There was a few laughs around the joint. I can't think of any real funny moments at the moment that we can embarrass anyone with or anything. What about you, Brendan? Any funny moments you noticed?
No, not that I can think of. But I think it was obviously a couple of little teething issues, but it was a good pretty well run meeting, and looking forward to the next one, that's for sure.
And do you think next year, do you think 6 rounds is enough, or you reckon Dave should put on more, or what do you think?
I would like more. There's it's obviously, it's not my series. It's not really my place to say what he should and shouldn't be doing, and everyone's got their own ideas. I would like more, and I think for maybe a crowd point of view, and also a rider and travelling rider a little bit, is Saturday nights, I reckon, would be cool. I reckon you'd get a much better crowd. It's a cooler atmosphere as a race under lights, and it also makes it easier for people travelling. Obviously, he can't do his 2 rounds in a weekend like we've been doing. But if he was happy to forego that, I think Saturday nights would be the way to go. There's just so many benefits, like easier track prep and all that sort of stuff. So, but more rounds would be cool. Trying to fill out the year, and then if someone can pretty much just decide to do just that as their main series, it's still enough racing to fill out a whole year.
I'd agree. And actually, that was thrown around a fair bit. I did hear a lot of people saying how awesome would it be being a night meeting. But obviously, you couldn't do that back-to-back thing.
No.
Well, not as easily anyway.
No.
So, I think that the track prep is probably the biggest win there if you did it at night time, because you basically water it at dusk and it stays pretty consistent. Usually at all the tracks I've been to, they haven't had to throw much water down after it goes dark, and the air cools down and moisture comes up out of the ground. There was an incident, Tom, that we didn't talk about, where he got a little bit carried away with the water just behind the jump and in front of the jump, and all through the through the 2 turns there. It was actually looking pretty mint before he put it on. I was thinking, he's not. I was on the infield doing a bit of filming, and I was thinking, he's not going to put water on that, surely. And he did. He dumped quite a bit, and there was a little swimming pool on the other side of the jump, and as you can imagine, on the 19s, it's not much fun when it's got that much moisture in it. As you'll see with Kelpie Live for round 4 of the Kelpie Cup. The 19s don't like a heavy track, like really a lot of water in it. So anyway, it was what it was, and he did what he thought was right, and in saying that too, there was no injuries because of it, I'm pretty sure. So that's a good thing.
Exactly right.
It just like yourself, Brendan, and a few other riders said, it just doesn't make it as fun, Can't feel like you're racing to your full potential, sort of thing.
No, exactly right.
But yeah, I think that's this time that's pretty much it.
Yeah, sweet.
There was actually something I noticed that he was doing this time. He didn't last time. There was a young lady doing some promotional stuff. I have
Rhiannon
seen.
Buchanan.
Oh, so you found out about who it is and who it was, and
Yeah. She's from the Blair Riders like freestyle trials show. So
right.
relatively well known. So that's pretty cool. It was a pretty cool thing that he did.
Yeah, so she's on the AFTN social media. Pretty sure it was Facebook and Instagram. You'll see, what was her name? Sorry,
Rhiannon Buchanan or Rhiannon Buchanan.
So Rhiannon, we'll go with that. Yeah, she was she was doing a few little speeches and highlight stuff and that, which is cool. Yeah, if he's getting that sort of vibe happening.
Another thing that, like, just randomly, I know you and I have spoken about it, Darcy, after the first couple of rounds, that I don't quite understand is that they only interview the winner on the podium, not second and third. And I'm not quite sure where that comes from and why they do it that way, but I just feel like that's a little bit, the other riders are there, why not interview second? It's a fair feat to finish second and third as well. I feel like they deserve a bit of a speech and an interview as well.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think it's a huge feat to get in the top three positions. So yeah, and the other thing, I know it's a B class, but it's not a B class because it's the same class, but a B group. But you're sort of racing, even though you're racing for overall points, it still feels like you're racing. This is sort of, I don't know how to explain it, but my problem with the way that runs is it looks like they're still racing for first, second, and third.
Yeah.
And it's a bit weird, and then there's no speech or anything for those people, and that's still achievement to win in that group of riders.
Yeah.
So the only other way to do that and make that not so weird is to have more like the American, where you've got to get into the last chance qualifier. And then if you don't get into the main from that, then that's the end of your day.
Not done,
and then there's not the two separate groups, or because I think it's a little bit because of the Australian dirt track, the way things happen, that we can't, especially in my mind, can't separate it from being another class. Like that's why I struggle, because Australian dirt track that'd be more like having another class, because you'd have. You have repecharges and that in dirt track otherwise, don't you? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm not sure why it's run that way either. I think it's to do with lap time, people getting enough lap track time.
Yeah.
But would you wouldn't miss out, wouldn't you, if you didn't get into
you
the last
definitely miss out. And that's why I think that's why they've done it. So people, there's lots of people that would look at the rider list and go, oh, I'm not even going to bother showing up because I'm not going to make the final, so I'm not going to get any track time. So I think that's why it's done that way.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's always a work in progress.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, it's still only the second event of the series, really. Well, even though it's 2 days, I call them one event, really, because we're at the same location. So it's really only the second one of a first full season. And it's going to be plenty of learning for Dave and his team. And all I'm doing really is fingers crossed that we can keep the momentum up, and there was definitely more spectators this time. Day 2 had more than day 1, but like I said, it was a bit strange after that third A group race, because they were the last race of each round. A lot of people went home. I reckon they didn't realise there was another round to go, even though there was a bit of commentating in that. But it was that intense. That sort of tells you how intense the racing was. It was basically every race was like they were racing for $1,000, So
yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, it was really good. It was a good spectacle. It was definitely worth the road trip. I'm still sort of scratching my head at the moment, like you, Brendan, being at work the next day on an aeroplane. I was sort of, I can't believe we went all the places we went and did all the things we did, and did all that driving and got back in one piece. And then, threw in a bit of mountain biking the day after getting home and all that sort of stuff. And it's been insane. But really good. And, looking forward to the next one. Gunnedah, are you going to be with us, Tom? Gunnedah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll be up there. I've got some good friends of mine that live about 30 seconds from the track. So, yeah, I'll be up there for that one.
30 seconds? Holy shit.
It's about a 5-minute drunken walk, but yeah, about 30 seconds.
And so what about Goffey? Are we going to get him up there or what? Is he riding my bike? And what, do I have to ring him or?
I think you better give him a call. It might be a lengthy conversation, so give yourself some time. But I reckon you might be able to twist his arm. He's had some success there before. I'm pretty sure he's won a state New South Wales dirt track title at Balcarry Park. So yeah, I think if you twist his arm enough, he might load the van and make an appearance hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, enjoy that pod, guys. Listen to that one. That will be the next one out, and then this one. So yeah, enjoy that. It's a good yarn. If you don't know who Luke is, check it out. Went and raced in America. It's got some great stories. I think we only heard about 0.1 of a 15th of the stories that dude's got. Like, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think
there are a few more stories out there after the recording stopped. So I'm glad that happened.
Well, I think. Oh, you don't want to tell us all about that. I think I know the one you're talking about.
Maybe leave it for Luke Goff part 2. But yeah, there's definitely some shenanigans that Luke and I got up to that I'll just leave it for him to explain it. It was funny.
I think that's one thing that the listeners probably don't understand, or you wouldn't know because you're not on this side of the screen and the mic, but quite often. Not tonight because Tom's got some work to do and so do I, and Brendan's got to go and clean his shed. But these pods quite often go for another hour and a half after we stop the record button. I know the one with Luke went for about, I think it was like 4 hours by the time I actually hung up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And we stopped it at 2 hours something. So yeah, it was full on. But yeah, really good getting to know all these guys. A lot of them I haven't met, like Kenny. Basically, I've seen him around, but I really only met him online while we're doing the pod. And the same with Luke. And yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, so I think that's a wrap for the AFTN recap for round 3 and 4 at Brisbane. Beautiful place. I sort of do hope they have another one there in some ways, and I sort of hope they don't too. It was a mission. You lose, and it was making me think about the New Zealand trip, Tom. I don't know how much speed do you have? We need something to keep us through it.
Hey, that's a loaded question there, but you be a bit more specific about that.
I was trying to think of sports drinks, but all that came out was I sent it right.
I was going to say, hold on, mate. They've got one right there.
It's got sent
What's
it,
wrong with you?
Can you see us? Yeah, can you see us, Brendan, or not?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see us. Yeah, so he's got the big sender energy drinks.
Yeah.
And here I am struggling to think of energy drinks. Wow, that sort of sums.
Actually, talking sponsors, I might take this opportunity for myself and Jobbo to welcome Shark.
Hold on, I'm just going to press the stop button. Hold on.
And MCS Motorcycle Products for jumping on board the 195 racing team. We can't wait to work with you guys, and as much as we've got you at the moment now, we're excited to take on the rest of this season and next season. So thank you for jumping on board with us.
Yeah, awesome. And sorry, who was it, and what do they do?
Shark Leathers and Accessories. They do Sharks with a whole range of products. If you jump on their website and have a look. And MCS Motorcycle Products have pretty much every single motorcycle store I've ever gone to has had their products on their shelves. So they're very well known and very well used too. So we're glad to have them on board, and we can't wait to promote them.
Yeah, awesome work, guys. Getting those guys to sponsor you. Shark Levers, are they suiting you up or?
We've actually got some designs that we're sort of throwing backwards and forwards, and he briefly sent me a photo of what he sort of wants, and we're going to have one-piece Kevlars with all our sponsors on it as well. So we're going to look even prettier on that black and white machine. So can't wait to get all fitted up with them too. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, they've good products from what I know about Shark. That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks, Brendan, for joining in with us.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good night and whatnot. And
no worries.
We'll chat soon. Oh, actually, what's next? The Aussie titles. Aussie Dirt Track titles. I'm going to see you both. Yeah, so I'll see you there too, won't I, Tom?
Yep, I'll be down there.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so nice. That's not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Correct.
Yeah,
so
7th and 8th of October. at Lincoln Causeway.
At Lincoln Causeway or Diamond Park or the Causeway or as
Albury
you
Wodonga Motorcycle Club is the easiest way to find it there. But if anyone can get down there and watch the Australian Dirt Track titles, it is pretty much the premier race meeting for the dirt track in Australia in itself. So if you can get down there and support us all and get on the hill and watch some awesome racing, there's definitely going to be some battle.
Yeah, and quite a few more classes in AFTN. So you got sidecars. Obviously, that's why Tom's going to be there. And junior support classes. Is this senior or junior?
I think there's about four or five junior support classes, but you'll have ladies, quads, sidecars, 450s, 250s, and say 4 or 5 junior support classes too. So it's definitely going to be action packed.
Yeah, and I did see an email saying that the entries were open a little bit longer. So if you are a rider, you've still got time. Just reach out to the club and or I assume it's on RiderNet because everything's through RiderNet now. So jump on there and sign up and. Yeah, never rule yourself out because there's all sorts of riders that go to these Australian titles. So if you're not in it, you can't win it. So, sign up. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
All right.
We're going to wrap this one up. It's about time we have a short one. And I think we've got quite a few more guests lined up. Tom's messaging me 3 times a day about what about this guy? Should we get him on? Or what about this chick? Should we get her on? And I've already worded them up. They're all ready to come on. And I'll go, hold on, Tom, hold on. But I've only got so many hours in the week.
Come on, mate. 3 pods a week. We can punch them out. Go, right. You need your heart out.
We can definitely record 3 pods in the week. It's just the editing side. Look how skinny. I'm like a skeleton tonight. I don't leave this room anymore. I just hear going tap, 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 tap. No eating. My wife said, "Who are you?" when I came in the other day. But it's awesome. We're having a ball, as you can tell. And looking forward to punching out a few more. We've got some international guests coming on very soon too, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be unreal.
And so keep listening, keep it sideways. Until next time.
Yeah.
Go Flat Tracker. Go Flat Tracker. Go, go, go.